President Trump concludes his historic two-day trip to India, highlighting the important trade relationship between the two nations. When America's Caitlin Sinclair sat down with the Consul General of India and has more from New York.
So this was a 36-hour trip by our president around the world. Now, this is a president that has been repeatedly told that America is weaker on his watch, that he's not respected on the world stage. Yet you look at these images at the stadium where he spoke, and it looks like hundreds of thousands of people would possibly think differently. Can you share with us what kind of regard do you believe the Indian people hold for President Trump?
You see, I have been a close observer of high-level visits. I don't think any world leader anywhere in the world has got this kind of a reception and this kind of public accolade. You know, the people, the love for President Trump and for the United States. I think it was always there in India. For years, you know, the people of India have loved the United States. And I think there was a natural outpouring of that affection. And the moment he landed in Ahmedabad on the way to the Sabarmati Ashram, where he went to Mahatma Gandhi's abode where he used to live there, and then the cricket stadium, I think it was electrifying. And what a speech President Trump gave, and you know, he touched every heart in the stadium and outside the stadium. All the networks in India were carrying it, and I think he dominated the news cycle in India and the world.
Of course, this visit was not just about theatrics and atmospherics, but we could say it was more about America expanding its general knowledge of India and trying to carve a pathway to conduct business in India. Do you believe that this visit accomplished that? I
believe so. You see, one very heartening element of the visit was the decision of our leadership, and our Commerce Minister himself said that both countries have decided to work on a free trade agreement. And I think that will be very good for both countries. President Trump himself said that under his watch, U.S. exports to India have increased by 60%. U.S. exports of energy, U.S. has become a net energy exporter. That has increased by 500%. And you know, U.S. has become India's largest trading partner.
The U.S. and India both have a lot to offer each other. Both want a stable and prosperous South Asia. Both want a reasonable Pakistan. Both want to tackle the menace of transnational Islamist terrorism. What do you believe, if anything, the U.S. could offer right now to broker peace between India and Pakistan?
You see, there is this question always being raised. You know, I don't think our leadership has been very clear that, you know, the issues between India and Pakistan have to be dealt between India and Pakistan. We always talk to other countries. You said yourself that, you know, the world expects a more reasonable Pakistan. I think the day Pakistan becomes reasonable, as our own minister, foreign minister says, the day Pakistan becomes a normal state at peace with itself and its neighbors, I think peace will be a cakewalk.
This 36-hour trip to India was a clear sign of President Trump's recognition and confidence in India to diversify the supply chain to for American multinationals. Can you comment on India's capacity in this regard?
I think it's a very good question you have raised, because you know, we can observe some decoupling between the two larger economies of the world, and India is focusing a lot on Make in India. And I think India has the capacity, it has the trained technical manpower, it has the resources, it has the market to attract investors who are wanting to hedge, move out from certain other geographies and relocate to India. And our government has come out with several incentives.
Prime Minister Modi made a statement to a cheering crowd saying President Trump thinks big and the world knows what he has done to recognize the American dream. How do the Indian people support President Trump's vision for the American dream, or acknowledge what he desires as far as a relationship for the rest of the world?
I think there are no two other countries in the world which think alike, you know, are alike, and believe that, you know, working together will shape the future of the world. And I believe this is the most important bilateral relationship. We will be failing in a task if we don't realize the potential of this relationship, because I think the rapturous crowds in the Motera Stadium, you know, hearing every word of President Trump or Prime Minister Modi, were actually giving their support to the relationship.
Thank you so much for talking about this historic visit with me, and thank you for having us here.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.